Hey guys, in this video I'll be talking about why you're struggling with Leetcode. So basically, when you're attempting a problem, you might be able to conceptualize a solution, but you're struggling when it comes to coding up the solution. Now, the main reason for this is because you don't know the syntax of the programming language you're using well enough. I recently watched a clip from NeetCode where he briefly mentions this.
I chose problems from Google's question bank. Most of the questions are not on Leetcode. I think that's the most unique thing about Google's interview process. They don't ask textbook questions. Interviewers will interview a candidate and then they'll give feedback for the candidate. The packet of feedback will go to something called a hiring committee, where a bunch of seniors and managers will look at the feedback and then give a yes or no. Somebody from the hiring committee actually gave me a comment saying, the question you asked was too easy. You got to ask harder questions in the future. That said, I don't even think the person passed the interview in that case, and I don't think I gave them a positive rating. Even then, people would get so tripped up by the question, and it was so weird because it wasn't like they didn't know how to code. At the beginning of the problem, they would ask a couple clarifying questions, but when it came time to writing basic code, for loops, if statements, and things like that, they would make the most trivial errors.
As you can see, he talks about people interviewing at Google and not being able to code basic things like for loops. And that's because they haven't mastered the fundamentals of the language they're using, which is why I'd recommend watching beginner tutorials in the language. If you're using Python like me, then I'd recommend watching Corey Schafer's Python Programming Beginners Tutorials playlist. This will tell you everything you need to know in depth about the Python programming language. Or if you're using a different language, then I'd recommend watching Bro Code's tutorial playlists. So he's got tutorials on pretty much every language: C, PHP, JavaScript, C#, and others as well, like C++. Once you gain a good understanding of the fundamentals, it'll become a lot more easier for you to then understand the data structures and algorithms concepts and code up solutions for technical coding problems. I myself am currently a beginner as well in Leetcode, and using this technique of first learning the fundamentals of a language and then applying what I've learned has been really beneficial for myself as well. Now I'm going to show you an easy Leetcode problem which can be solved by just knowing a programming language well enough. So over here, as you can see, this is an easy Leetcode question. Leetcode number 27, element, remove element. Given an integer array nums and an integer value, val, remove all occurrences of a val in nums in place. In place meaning using the existing memory in the array and not creating an external memory like a hash map or whatever. The order of elements may be changed. Then return the number of elements in nums which are not equal to val. Consider the numbers of elements in nums which are not equal to val bk. To get accepted, you need to do the following things. Change the array nums such that the first k elements of nums contain the elements which are not equal to val. The remaining elements of nums are not important, as well as the size of nums. Return k. And here's the example. So we've got an array over here, nums. We've got these four values, 3, 2, 2, 3. Val is 3. As you can see, the number of values left will be 2. And we output 2, basically. And then down here is pretty much the same. So in order to do this, we first have to think of what do we want this program to do. So from the problem, we want to basically remove all occurrences of val. Now, in the first case, val is 3, and we want to just remove 3 from our array nums. So how can we go about doing that? So in Python, as you might be aware, we have the .remove method, which is used to remove elements from an array. So we know we can use the .remove method to remove values. Now, how do we make it so that we remove all occurrences of val from the array. Well, we can use while loops. While loops can loop over conditions until it has been met. So what we can do is we can write while val, the value you want to remove, is in our nums array. We want to perform a function which will remove val from nums. So you simply write nums.remove val. And then this will have removed all occurrences of val from our nums array. And now what we can simply do is return nums outside of our while loop. And we want to return the amount of numbers left. So what we can do is we can get a length using the len word. And then if we run this, as you can see, our solution has been accepted. And if we submit, we can see our runtime was 40 ms and it beats 35.58% of users with Python. Now, this solution doesn't use any sort of fancy data structures or algorithms. It uses basic knowledge of a programming language, Python. So hopefully this example shows you how important the fundamentals can be. So yeah, if you enjoyed my video, then please make sure to like, subscribe, and comment if you have anything to say. Thank you.